So when you're deciding to paint your boards for your crafts, you can choose to do anything you want. I'm just here to show you a couple ideas. We have straight painting right out of the container using white and then the black. I decided not to wash my brush because I wanted a gray. I did a lot of experimenting for this project, so I grabbed some paper towel, I did some rubbing with some, like just a little bit of water, just to get that whitewash to show through on the bottom, but I am an experimental painter. I like to just play as I go, so if that's you too, feel free to just do what you want. It's all about what your style is. It's your craft. Another tip is to make sure that you have a glass of water because it will help the viscosity of the paint. It'll flow better, and if you're looking for the grain to show through, you're looking for a lighter wash of paint anyways. So a little tiny water will go a long way. I usually just dip my brush in the paint and then dip it right into the water, and it will actually turn out like a stain. So as you can see in the black part here, that was just straight black paint with a little bit of water, and it just soaks into the wood just like a stain would. Alright, so once your board is dried and prepped and ready to go, one cool thing that you can try to do is do some sanding. I really like to do sanding in areas that I'm not completely happy with. So with your sandpaper that you got, you're just going to fold it in half, figure out how you want to hold it. I always like to make sure that I am not holding the paper with the fold on the outside. So I want that fold to be on the top, because what happens is sometimes it tends to go back and forth like that. So I hold it with the fold facing up, and then you're just gonna sand in the direction of the wood. You're gonna focus more on areas that you maybe want to distress a little bit, or areas that you want the grain to show through more. And you just sand until your heart's desire. I'm gonna focus more on the edges. I want those to show through just a tiny bit more. So if you want to try the distressed look, I recommend doing a dry brush technique. So with a clean brush, you don't want to use a brush that's already been full of paint. Make sure that it is super dry, so squeezing it out on a paper towel will help wick that water away. And this is just one of those fun little techniques that I do in a lot of my stuff, because I want any of the texture that's raised to accept some lighter color. Okay, so the goal is to have little paint because it's called dry brushing. And if you overdo it, you're gonna notice that you're gonna end up with paint streaks. If you like that, that's cool. But you want it to be nice and evened out. And then it's a process of going back and forth like this. You're not gonna really know how much paint you have until you just commit to it. So I am very lightly, just brushing the top. And I'm not pushing, all I'm doing is letting the brush do the work. And you're gonna start to notice that the texture is gonna start to pop up. Very little paint is the key. That's pretty good. All right, here we go. right, so this is our whitewashed board. It is quite beautiful, I have to say. Another cool thing that you can try, I'm gonna start with the edges first, just because I don't wanna overdo it with the amount of paint I have, and those are less conspicuous, obviously. So I'm just gonna bring out some of the wood tone, some of the wood grain, and how you do that is you just lightly, it's not about brushing with the tip, however you can. I prefer to do it on the side because my finger helps kind of press where I want it to go.